Hi, everybody. Dan Illman, Mike Beer, taking a look at the Grade 3 $500,000 Charlestown Oaks. 3-year-old fillies going a 2-turn 7 furlongs. Let's take a look at this field. It is a very competitive race, Mike. 9 in here, several graded stakes winners already. None of them, though, have raced at Charlestown in the past.
Yeah, that's true. It's a totally different configuration for a lot of these horses. The 7 furlong around 2 turns, I guess it sort of brings this field together in some ways, Dan. It also felt like, besides this field being really well matched, it felt like there was a pretty good amount of speed in here.
That's a good point and a good segue to the Timeform US pace projector. I agree with Timeform US at the 3, the 5, and the 8 should show speed, and this pace should be on the fast side. Society didn't break very well against much better horses last time out. She's likely to be close to the pace. Lady Scarlet is stretching out off a turf sprint at Saratoga. Chardonnay's pretty fast. Whether she's got this kind of class fast, we'll find out.
Yeah, that could be a problem for her. They do like to send Chardonnay forward in her races, and she's exiting a pretty fast-paced allowance race at Delaware Park. She is really going to be tested by some better horses in this race, though.
Number 1 is She's Pure Silver, and she would benefit from a fast pace. Let's watch her most recent start at Mountaineer. This is the off-turf West Virginia President's Cup. She fell far behind early. She made a run into this race and has a bit of a look at it right here, and she's going to flatten out in the late stages. I think she'll do okay on fast going. She's just going to have to run a little bit faster.
Yeah, she's going to need to run her very best race to be competitive here. In this race that we're watching, she did fall far behind. I felt like at mid-stretch there, she had a real shot at that favorite on the lead then. She just couldn't finish. Maybe cutting back to the 2-turn 7/8 helps her. She's just going to sit and make one run in here.
Divine Huntress, the number 2, earned a Grade 1 placing 2 starts back in the Acorn when a no match for Mataraya finished second that day. Grant Motion wanted to get a stakes win for her, dropped her into the Miss Disco, going 7/8 at Laurel last time out. Let's take a look at that race. She was 3 to 5 in here. She's sitting in a good position on the outside, turning into the stretch. She's going to go by the horse on the lead, but she really has to work to put away Sweet Gracie down towards the inside. She is all out to win.
Yeah, didn't love this performance for her. I thought this filly actually had a lot of potential earlier on in her career. She just didn't seem like she classed up earlier this year when they tried her in some tougher races. This was a good spot maybe to get some confidence back into her, Dan, but man, did she have to work really hard to beat an inferior field, and now they're stepping her back up again. I no longer trust this horse, but I do think she has some talent.
Chardonnay is the number 3. She got a win 3 starts back at Pimlico, going a mile and a 16th first level allowance race. Thought she had the right field to beat that day and got a good setup as well. Maybe the setup wasn't there for her last time out at Delaware. Let's watch that race right now. It was pretty fast pace, and Chardonnay went into the teeth of it to make the front turning into the stretch. She just gets tired at the end.
Yeah, I mean, I guess this pace was pretty fast if you want to, use that as an excuse for her. I still think this is the kind of race where she's supposed to be more competitive than she ultimately is at the end. You also have to deal with the race 2 back where they ran her against Midnight Stroll, and she was just absolutely no match. She has an awful lot to prove in this race.
The number 4, Peachy Witch, needs a buyer boost as she jumps up into the stakes ranks for the first time. But she did some good things in this race. Her first start off the Claudio Gonzalez Claim. There was no pace going on this day. Peachy Witch turns for home with a lot of work to do, and she grinds down this field nicely. The 4th place finisher would come back to win a restricted allowance at Laurel with a 71 buyer.
I like this performance from her. The speed figure that she earns in victory doesn't reflect it. I think this might be the best race she's ever run, though, Dan. And it came first off the Claim for these connections. They're going to step her right up into a really tough spot here, but she could be a big price in this horse. Maybe you want to throw her in.
Number 5, Society, won her first 3 starts and deserved an opportunity against Grade 1 competition last time in the Coaching Club American Oaks. She didn't break very well. She rushed up to contest a solid pace, and she was facing Nest, the best filly in the country, who would not only win the Coaching Club, but would come back and dominate the Alabama last week with a 99 buyer speed figure. Lots of things to like about Society. She's got fast races. She goes out for Steve Asmussen. She's got the pedigree. She has tactical speed.
Yeah, all those things are true. They're just cutting her back here into a much more reasonable spot. They took their chance in the Coaching Club, and whether she was going to win or not really doesn't matter because she totally blew her chance at the start of that race. Her prior 3 starts were all good, Dan. I really like her cutting back. Having watched her last couple of races going longer, I'm not convinced that she's really a route kind of horse. I like her at these shorter distances.
Number 6, Stellar Ride, has hit the board in her last 5 races, including this race, stakes run at Gulfstream. This is the Azalea going 7/8 of a mile. She's going to finish third in this race, but this is a pretty live event. It produced 3 next out winners. The winner of this race, Last Leaf, is very sharp. She'd come back to win the Audubon Oaks at Ellis with an 83 buyer. She's won 4 of her last 5.
Yeah, she's got no chance to beat Last Leaf in here, just wins for fun. I still thought she should have been second in here, Dan. She has a real shot at it. She can't get by this horse to her inside. And overall, that's been the one thing I really haven't liked about this horse. She just doesn't finish that hard in her races, and she's going to have to finish hard against a field like this one.
The versatile number 7, Midnight Stroll, is one sprinting, is one around 2 turns. Just seems like that versatility will help her going the 2-turn-7 at Charlestown. She's a strong contender. Here's her most recent start, the Grade 3 Delaware Oaks. There was a good pace going on. Eric Consell was able to save ground, burst past the leader on the turn, got to the front, and now holds off a pretty good horse. Shotgun Hottie would come back to run second in the Grade 3 Monmouth Oaks with an 87 buyer. Really game effort.
Yeah, good performance here. In some ways, I think Midnight Stroll is the horse to beat in this race. I think the cutting back to 7 could actually really work for her. The Black Eyed Susan 2-back is a race you want to take with a big grain of salt. And she had an impossible trip that day. Just throw that race out. She was good last time. That pace was fast. I thought Cancel maybe moved a little bit too early into it, but he still took over and still held off a pretty good horse at the end. This filly's good.
The number 8, Lady Scarlet's another graded stakes winner. She won the Miss Preakness 2 starts back. She was claimed for $150,000 last fall by Michael Maker. Here's her graded stakes win. She's had a very nice trip on the outside in this race. She has the speed to make the lead, but she's versatile to sit off the pace. My concern about this race is it just hasn't come back very strong just yet.
Yeah, I agree with you. The horses that she's running past her, they looked pretty good coming into this race, but nothing's really happened since then. I still like this performance from Lady Scarlet. She sat a nice trip. She's much the best at the end. More than anything else, that I just think she's really improved since Makers claimed her. I don't know about the 7 for her. The 2-turn-7 especially could be a problem, but she's versatile. She's handy. She's in good form. There are things to like.
Ran on turf last time out. The turf dirt angle has worked very well for her in the past. Up from Louisiana is the 9, Free Like a Girl. And what's interesting about her is she's won around a 2-turn-7 furlongs in the past at Delta Downs. The Louisiana Jewel, she ran away at him from that field last fall. So she has sort of experience over a quirkier configurated dirt course. Let's watch Free Like a Girl's last race, Louisiana Downs, going 3/4 of a mile. This is the Louisiana Cup Filly and Mare Sprint. She was able to just sort of blow by the leader here and run off and hide. 88 buyer speed figure. It's a bit of an outlier from what she's run for most of her career, Mike, but I think she's better at these shorter distances. They try her going 2 turns, 2, 3, 4 back in route races.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, a little bit of a wild card here because she did run well winning that race. She has other races in the past that I guess are going to give her some kind of a chance here. The 2-turn-7 could actually work to her advantage as well. You know, listen, they tried her in 2 Grade 3 races. She didn't really come close in either of them, but her Iowa Oaks 2-back isn't terrible, Dan. That pace was pretty fast she was on, and she just got tired at the end.
Let's take a look at our top selections for the Grade 3 Charlestown Oaks. Society, one of the ones to beat, certainly, along with Midnight Stroll. The 7, Society, dropping out of the coaching club and is going to be right there, you would think, when the real racing begins.
Yeah, I like her cutting back for this race, Dan. I like her speed as well. And I also like when you go back and watch those 3 wins, she's a real fighter through the stretch. When they come to her, she does not want horses to get past her. And with the short stretch and the tight turns, that could work to her advantage in a race like this.
The 9, Free Like a Girl, should be a price in this race. She's won 8 of 15. She's been a hard-hitting Louisiana bred. Now she has to prove her mettle against open graded stakes company, but I like her win going 7 at Delta all the way back, and that last race shows that she's sharp. 5, 7, 8, 9 for Mike, 9, 7, 2, 8 for me. It's the Charlestown Oaks on Charlestown Classic Friday. Good luck.